Because the goal of raising our children is to raise a wholehearted child who can live and love to their fullest expression. And I don't know how to break this down for you anymore, but basically the buck stops with us. Because the thing about emotions is that they are catching, they are infectious, you know, and we have all heard the expression, hurt people, and all of us, regardless of our experiences, regardless of our past, all of us carry trauma and emotional wounds and issues and slights and name callings or means, all the things. We are all carrying things from our childhood. All of these things have an effect on how we show up. I mean, this is just a natural, it's almost like a natural curse of growing up. Because before age 7, our children are absorbing everything and accepting it as fact. And let's face it, the schoolyard is not, it's not always a kind place. And we grow up, I almost call it like a deadening or a hardening. Now, when I do my 5 days to fierce, which is coming back round in a few weeks, by the way, I do a free coaching series. I'm going to pop a link down the bottom if you would like to come and play. We talk about like how we are a channel, like we are an instrument, if you will, of the universe. And we start like this. And then over time, what happens is we start hiding parts of ourselves away. And this channel it starts to get a bit blocked. You know, we start to deaden ourselves. We start to hide ourselves. And this film that we start to put over our authentic being, it means that we don't start to stand in our light. It means that we don't live in our truth. And it means that we aren't living a fully aligned and authentic life because we are in people-pleasing mode. How many people relate to this? People-pleasing is a thing. But here's the problem. When we live in people-pleasing, and this is with our children as well, what happens if we are not living in a full alignment with our true selves? What happens is resentment. What happens is bitterness. Does this make sense? How many of you have had the experience where your children really, really want to play something? And you are up to your eyeballs in something. You have something you're really under pressure to do, or you're having to make dinner, and your children come to you and you're like, oh, mum, will you play with me? Can you do this? And how many of you have, because you want to be the very best parent that you can, how many of you put the needs that you have aside and you go, okay, darling. And then when you play with them, you're not present because you're thinking of the things that you have to do. Or you are playing and you're going, you know, I really don't have the time for this. Do you know, like, how many of you had that experience? And here's the thing. How much easier is it for us as parents and for our children if we are able to know what's important and we are able to stand in our boundaries? Because I'm not going to get into boundaries today because boundaries is a whole nother level. But the things that we say no to are just as important as the things that we say yes to. How many of you think that our child would respond better if we knelt down next to them and said, baby, I love you so very much. And I really, really want to play with you. But right now, I just have to do this thing. But do you know what? Here's a timer. And in 10 minutes or 20 minutes, you can be in control of the time. In 10 minutes, I can play with you and I can't wait. Which parent do you want to be? Which parent do you think is going to have the best effect on their child? Because you're going to do two things in this moment. First of all, you are going to be living in your authentic self and standing by your own values. You're being honest, you're being kind, and you're being brave, which is a mantra that we use all of the time in LaLa Tigers. But what you're also not doing is taking that negative emotion, negative resentment, negative bitterness, because then you are going to take it out on your partner, and then you are going to take it out on your kids, and then you're going to be more stressed because you haven't finished the thing that you wanted to be. Does this make sense? I know, and I always say on my lives, I am not better. This I share my experiences. I have made these mistakes also, but mistakes is how we learn. So I invite you to think, because the cost of not living a fully aligned, boundaried, emotional, healthy life, The cost, I believe, is paid by our children. It's paid by our partners. It's paid by the people around us when we deliver the thing from an energy not of love, but of resentment and anger and frustration. And let me tell you that your child can feel absolutely everything that comes off you. They might not understand all the words. They might not understand anger, resentment, bitterness, stress, overwhelm, all of those things. But I'm telling you now, they can feel them. And the thing with children is they take it really, really personally, which is why it is our responsibility to be owning our stuff so that we don't pass it on to our kids.